Hey, what's up guys? Dan here. Today we are looking at the Peak Design Everyday Messenger Bag. Now this is one of the most successful Kickstarter campaigns of all time. This bag raised just shy of $5 million. And in fact, Peak Design have a string of successful Kickstarter campaigns. They really know how to make that work for them. This particular bag was designed in partnership with prominent photographer Trey Radcliffe. It's a shoulder style bag to carry your laptop, to carry cameras, a shoulder style bag for taking to the office or for traveling with. It's pitched as a very convertible, universal bag that you can change from one thing to another or have it be a bunch of things all at the same time even. So a very interesting concept. It has a number of extremely unique design features, and there's been an awful lot of buzz about this bag, so I was very interested to test it out. Been using it for about a month now for both photography and carrying around my kind of portable office, as in laptop, tablet, hard drives, that kind of stuff. So I've tried a few different things out with it. And I wanted to walk through all the features of the bag, and then we'll discuss kind of my overall thoughts. What are the pros? What are the cons? Like I said, there's been a lot of buzz about this, and I do feel that in some of the reviews that have been out there, they have missed some of the things which I actually don't like about the bag. So I do want to draw attention to those as well, because it's not perfect. No camera bag that I've ever found is perfect. And so we'll go through all the positive things and some of these little negative things as well. And yeah, so that's what we're going to do. I'm going to change the camera around a little bit so you can see closer detail of this bag. Okay, we got a bit of a closer look on the bag here, and I guess the first thing I should say is that the price point on this bag is pretty high for a shoulder bag. It's $250, but what I would say about that is that when you get it in your hands, you instantly appreciate why it is that price. This is an incredibly well-made bag, and the materials they've used are materials that I've never even seen used before on camera bags. Often you can spot little pieces of hardware and types of material that frankly are often sourced from the same factories in the countries that make a lot of these products, and you see them cross different brands and stuff like that. That's not the case with this. There's a lot of unique hardware on here and unique materials. This waxed canvas material that they used here feels incredibly durable. It sheds water reasonably well, and it just feels like this is a bag that's going to last you for years and years and years. So that's the overall material of it. It feels nice to the touch as well. And on the base of the bag, we have this hardened kind of rubber on the bottom as well, so you can stand it on the ground without fear of too much dirt sticking in the canvas, but also protecting it from, you know, a bit of water if the ground's a bit wet. So the overall build quality of this bag it really is extremely good, and I don't feel like if you spend the $250, you're going to have a second thought about it once you get that bag in your hands. It really is an extremely fine piece of manufacturing. So that's why the price is what it is. Now, what I'll do is I'll walk through all the different features on the bag. We'll take a close look at them, and then at the end, give my overall impressions. Let's start at the back. So this is a bag that is designed to be a lot of different things. So as a travel bag and a potential sort of daily office carry-around bag as well, we've got to have room for a laptop. So the back here will fit a 15-inch laptop. Now it fits my 15-inch MacBook Pro Retina perfectly. In fact, I can also fit my Wacom Intuos Pro tablet in there at the same time. I have seen people comment that some of their larger, thicker PC laptops are a bit of a tight squeeze. I can't comment more on that because I've not used anything but a MacBook Pro in here, and a MacBook Pro fits fine with room to spare. So within this, we also have another pocket here, just hook and loop closure. This is designed for a tablet, so this will fit your standard sort of iPad Air. It'll take an iPad mini, obviously that's smaller, but it's not going to fit an iPad Pro. But it's also a great little place to put you know, accessories for your laptop as well. That fits quite well in there if your laptop is already quite thin. So laptop stuff, there's a couple of what they're saying are pen slots on the side of the iPad pocket or the tablet pocket. They do work for pens. They're a little bit tricky to see sometimes, and maybe, I mean, they work, but that's probably not the best feature of the bag. hopefully you can see as well that the zipper itself is extremely high quality hardware. Again, as I was saying, every little detail of this bag has been nicely thought out, from the zipper pulls to these rubberized zippers as well, to try and prevent water getting in there as well, because the bag doesn't come with a rain cover. And it's actually, I do find that a bit odd that there isn't a rain cover. I appreciate the material is designed to shed water, but there's just some when, you know, you're going to get caught in a downpour, and so I don't know why it's not an optional extra. Fine, don't you know, include one with it, but I think it should be offered, because, well, I mean, I guess we can start. Let's do the side pockets right away. So what I was going to say about the rain cover is we have these open side pockets here, so it doesn't matter how waterproof or water resistant the material is and stuff like that. I mean, in the rain, it renders these pockets completely useless because they're open, so that's no good. And to be quite frank, the side pockets are useless anyway. It's probably, in fact, it is my biggest issue that I have with the bag. Is you can see that they're tapered down here to the point where the depth of the pocket at the front is mere inches, and I found it quite funny that on one of the photos that they had on the Kickstarter page, they had someone's cell phone stuck in here. I mean, that's just, if you have this thing over your shoulder and you're walking through a crowd and you have your cell phones in here, which sticks out to about here, it's just, that's going to be gone in a second. So I don't really know what they expected people to put in these side pockets. I'm really quite stumped. I don't know. You can't fit a water bottle in there. You know, it just, they're not going to get used. I don't see what people are going to use in these, because you can't put anything big, it just falls out. I mean, you really only have a usable depth of a few inches. And to keep the bag looking sort of streamlined and keep it looking good, the pocket also encroaches on the interior of the bag, and that's the same with the laptop pocket as well. So what I mean by that is that whenever you put something inside a pocket, whether it's the laptop or try and squeeze something in these side pockets, it pushes into the interior pocket. So anything you put in these outside pockets decreases the volume of the main internal pocket. The pockets don't bulge outwards to accommodate things, they bulge inwards. And so they start to make the internal volume much less. So that's something to definitely pay attention to, because when you're looking at the bag, you think, okay, it's one size, and then by the time you put your laptop in there, you suddenly realize that you've lost a ton of space, because all the laptop's thickness actually encroaches onto the interior volume. And that would be the same if you, excuse me, that would be the same if you tried to squeeze things into these side pockets, which is tough anyway. On the other side, we have another side pocket. This one does have a neat feature though. It has one of their quick release little things on here. So you can add your keys, or I've got some earphones here, which I clip on there. And so something small like that, like, yeah, I've got some earphones on the side there and it's reasonably well tethered on. So on this side with the tether, that's really the only thing I've found useful, is a pair of earphones. And you could potentially put memory cards in there, but honestly, I'd be worried about, you know, $500 worth of memory cards in a memory card wallet stuck somewhere so easy to grab. I mean, there's no protection for it at all. So side pockets are a letdown for me on this bag. Moving along, let's sort of continue across the top then. We've got this nice handle. Again, really nice hardware choice, really nice material they've chosen here. I think it looks awesome. It lays nice and flat. It's not too bulky. It doesn't get in the way if you don't use it. And then we have another zipper here. Now this zipper actually helps you access the main compartment of the bag. So we can get to the front, or we can come from the top. This is a great feature. This is a really, really clever, just such a simple addition that makes things just really easy, because sometimes you just want to grab that one little thing super quickly, and I always find myself using this top zipper. So I wasn't sure if I would, but I totally do. I use it almost every time I take the bag out. So great feature, I love that. Now, you saw me operate this latch a second ago. So this is a really neat thing that they have, I believe they've patented this design. It's tricky to explain exactly, but it's kind of a magnetic latch. And we've got these different options that you can clip it to depending on how much stuff you've put in the bag. So we can kind of tighten it down and use it on one of the lower ones like that, and that keeps the bag really streamlined, but you can also kind of hook it onto one of the top ones and really fill the bag up a little bit more like this. So it works well. It takes, a few goes to get used to it, but once you've done it, it's actually really easy to use, and it feels nice and sturdy. So that's pretty cool. I like what they've done there. And again, just the choice of hardware, everything feels nicely made and just, well thought out there as well. So I do like that. Now let's open up and start to look inside. Zippered pocket here. I'm not sure, it's not very deep, so I'm not sure exactly what to put in here. I've put things in here like a small little flashlight that I use, some bungees for cables, and this little rubber band that comes with the bag, which is for tripod feet. So what you do with the tripod is this pouch, this little bag here, is actually, it runs right the way through underneath. So you can actually pass something right through. So the idea is that you pass your tripod legs through this, and then you wrap this around the feet of the tripod, and that keeps the tripod attached. Just a small travel tripod. I would show you my travel tripod, but I'm using it to hold the camera right now. So, something like the Really Right Stuff TQC 14 is what I tried with it. Works great because the tripod is only about this long, and so you pass the legs through, and then you put this on there, and that stops it sliding out again. So that's a clever idea if you want to carry a tripod. I think it's a better way of doing it than putting it on the base. A lot of shoulder bags, they put straps on the base, and then it's just really awkward when you put the bag down on the ground and it just wants to fall over and you're just resting on your tripod. So this is a much better way of doing it. So that's, clever, very clever. I like that. We have another little pocket here. This one I find is great for your iPhone 6 Plus fits nicely in there, so any similar sized and smaller stuff's going to fit. Got some iPhone charging cable in there as well, so that tends to be what I use that one for. We'll come back to the main compartment. I'm going to skip forward to this front section. So we have this pocket on the front here. You can see I've got business cards in here. Let me just fold that down so you can see it a little bit better. We've got 4 different slots over the front. 2 of them have red stitching, 2 of them have green stitching. The idea behind that is that you can put spent memory cards in the red ones and empty ones in the green, or use it for batteries. So you've got full batteries and dead batteries. So a little organizational thing there, which I think is a really cool idea. On the back side of the pocket, we have 2 elastic pockets. I tend to put a notebook in here. I've got a Bluetooth keyboard in the other side here. But let me see, let me grab so I've got a hard drive here. So it's a good size to put a hard drive in here. That's my G-Tech drive. So you can get a couple of hard drives in there, which is good. But you can't really put anything bulky in the front here. Once you've got a couple of hard drives in those pockets, like if you fill up these elastic pockets and then you fill up these elastic pockets, there's no room to actually put something in this main pocket section. You find that you can't really close it. The reason for that is, if I go side on here, I'm going to try and show you this. So the bottom of this pocket tapers down to a point. So you can see it just folds out from a point. So that means that at the base of this pocket, it essentially tapers down to 0. So you can't really put anything of any bulk in here. And I wish that that wasn't the case. I wish that there was a ½ inch of extra material at the bottom, or maybe a little bit more than that. So this whole pocket could move forwards when you put something bulky in there. Instead, everything gets trapped at the top because it's the only bit where you can actually put something reasonably bulky. So you kind of end up doing this because this taper prevents you putting anything of substance down the bottom here. What's the next thing to say about that? I mean, it's functional, but you can't fit anything like as much as I would like to have fitted in the front of this, basically. That's kind of my takeaway from it. You can basically get what I've got in here. Hard drive, notebook, and a few smaller items, some memory cards and business cards and stuff like that. I wish there was a place to put, your power cable, for example. My MacBook Pro power cable with its extension cord, when I've got a hard drive in here, I can't fit that in there and close this pocket. And for kind of a laptop style bag, to not be able to put the power adapter for probably the most popular laptop amongst creative people is kind of a strange one. I think that I just wish there was more space in the front. Okay, let's get to the interior here. I'm going to unpack some of this stuff here because it's not super relevant to what we're talking about. Maybe should have done this before I started, but it's all camera stuff. So here we go. This is the main section of the bag, and we've got these really unique dividers here. I'm going to take one of these out because it'll be much easier. So this is such an awesome feature. You can fold these things into shelves. You can make them into shorter ones. You know, if you're using short lenses and you want to put something bulky on top, you can just basically craft all kinds of different ways to divide up the interior of this bag. And it's got really nice hook and loop system, which just allows you to place it anywhere within the bag. You don't have to conform to any specific designs there, which I really love. So the idea behind this, of course, is that you can use it for camera stuff, you can take them out, and you can basically adapt it to hold all manner of different things. But what's great about it, because these are so low profile, if I take these out, it's possible if you just wanted to use this to put, you know, your groceries in or something like that one day, you can still take these with you. They're super lightweight and they're pretty low profile, so you can just put them in there and stick them to the wall, and then they're ready when you need them or need one of them or something like that. You know, they just take up so little room and they're so lightweight that you can just sort of keep them around and figure out when you need them and how you need to arrange them at the time. So I really like those dividers. They are awesome. And the materials they've used on the inside here, this kind of felted, but really durable felted materials. So once again, awesome choice of materials and hardware on this. I can't stress enough how good this all feels. Like, it just feels like a quality product. So I think those are the main, oh no, we haven't even talked about the straps, have we? I forgot to mention the rail on the side here. You can see I've got my capture clip on here. So this is the Peak Design capture clip. If you're not familiar, it's a quick release clip that allows you to put a camera on the side of this bag. You can put it on all sorts of other things, but they have a rail on each side to put a capture clip on it. So if you're walking around and you want quick access to a camera, you can just clip it on the outside there. Now, of course, Peak Design were known for their straps. That's how these guys got into the business. So essentially what the shoulder strap is a version of their slide camera strap. So we have this, this clutch here, which basically releases, and then you can move this around. Super easy to change the length of it if you want to, you know, have it super tight to your back, or you want to go really long, so you've got easy front access to it if you swing it around. It's super easy to move around. I mean, these guys know straps, that's what they do. So it's not really surprising that that works super well. The padding is decent. It's really thick foam. I haven't really had any problems with it, but I must say that I haven't used it for more than a couple of hours at a time on my shoulder. If I really had it loaded up, then I'm not sure if this foam is a little bit too hard, but you know, that might be personal preference. One thing I've seen a couple of people talk about online, but not actually seem to understand how it's supposed to work, is that on the underside of this, there is no anti-slip material at all. So that's the natural side that this kind of falls on your shoulder. But what they do have is some anti-slip on the top here, and simply the idea is that you just flip it over. So you'll have a kink in the shoulder strap, but at least that gives you the option to have anti-slip or not, and that's the idea behind it. Now, the other thing, which I almost forgot about because it's pretty well hidden away, is that in these little pockets on the side here, we actually have a belt as well. So if I move this back so you can see it, we have a belt which can come together and just act as kind of a stabilizing belt. It's just a simple hook that goes through here. So then we've got that belt like that. So that allows you to wear it in you know, proper messenger style as well. If you want to just, so you can have the belt like this, or you can take the hook part of the belt, and when you're wearing this, you actually hook this onto the shoulder strap like that. So then you have your kind of 3-point messenger style. I'll put some photos in the review which is going to accompany this video, so head to the description below if you want to see kind of photos of how that works. But you know, anyone familiar with a proper messenger bag will know exactly how this works. And so you kind of have the cross bracing in two directions. It makes it super stable if you're biking with it. But I like that you have also the option for just a straight belt as well, just to kind of stabilize things if you're moving around a lot. So yeah, that's really cool, and it's great that you can tuck it away. Like I said, I almost forgot they were there because they do a pretty good job of hiding themselves in these side pockets. I won't bother with that right now. So that's all the features. That's all the features of the everyday messenger bag. Now, as you can probably tell, I do really like this bag. I think from a standpoint of hardware choice and materials and things like that, this is a really great looking bag, definitely something that's going to last you a really long time. My first thought when I got this was it wasn't nearly as big as I thought it would be. I couldn't hold as much stuff in it as I think it makes it look like you can. And part of the reason for that is because of this tapered design right here. So in a lot of the photos, they show this bag hooking onto the top one like this and saying, okay, well, look how wide you can make it like this. That's all well and good, but it means that any objects you have on the top of the bag here, they really have to be big objects because they're only being held on by this flap. I mean, stuff can come in and out of here quite easily. So whilst you could take a similar sized, fully zip up shoulder bag and take all the stuff out of it and put it in here, you can't have a lot of small items. Small items have to go to the bottom. You can't put small items in top. And I found that in the long run, you can't pack as much into this as I thought you would be able to, because you rely too much on having to basically use this flap as the securing method. And you don't want, you basically got these big holes here, so you can't put anything small or expensive that could potentially just fall out of here. If you've got stuff packed up here really well, things can just fall out. So it's not as secure as I would like if you're trying to pack it really well. So I like that you can make it really small. If you want to make just a laptop bag, I mean, we can go down to the very bottom clip like this, and this is a really, really small bag. But realistically, I think it's hard to pack it when you get to the top level like that and start really pushing things out, because I definitely worried about the security of some of my gear in here. If the bag was on its side, something could, roll out of here or something like that. So you can get a lot of stuff in it, but not quite as much as I was expecting. What else do I think about it? I mean, I love the shoulder strap system. All that stuff is great. Like I said, I don't like the side pockets at all. I think they're kind of useless. I think it's a bit of form over function with those side pockets, because I can't imagine what function they actually anticipated people using them for. And to some extent, I think it's the same with the front pocket as well. I mentioned about the accessory field pouch that comes with this as well. And in fact, I'm going to do a little show you the field pouch in a second. But they have this accessory field pouch which doesn't, kind of seems like it's designed alongside this bag, but it doesn't even really fit in the front pocket here. You can fit it in when it's empty, but as soon as you put anything in the pouch, it doesn't fit in the pocket because the front pocket is too small. It needed to be, bellowed at the bottom so the whole thing moves out a little bit. So that was kind of a disappointment. So really, I think it's the external pockets which let this bag down a little bit. If you don't have stuff to put in those, then you'll be super happy with what you can put in here and the design of all that side of stuff. I mean, I'm still extremely happy with the bag, but I definitely want to point out that, don't plan on having a water bottle in the side pocket or something like that. And I do think the amount of detailing they put into all of this, there's so much thought went into some things, but then to not be able to put a water bottle in the side pocket, it just seems, maybe you could get one of those little stubby ones, but no sort of Nalgene size bottle or, even like a medium sized soda bottle doesn't fit in the side here. So I think that's really strange that it ended up like that. But, overall, this is definitely, it hits one target, which is the most universal bag that I think I've ever seen. It's not a camera bag. This is a bag that you can do a lot of things with. All this stuff I've taken out here is stuff I've been using in it. So I haven't actually this week been using it too much as a camera bag. I've been using it as my laptop bag and my general kind of all-purpose bag for moving other stuff around in. And that's kind of down to the genius of these things. You know, they come out so easily, they let you customize it so quickly, and also because it doesn't feel bulky. So when you're doing smaller sizes and it's not full, you can really kind of strap it down and it doesn't feel like this big bulky bag you're carrying around with yourself. So in terms of hitting that goal, you know, making a really universal bag that you can use for cameras one day, travel and office another day, and keeping it looking smart, then they absolutely nailed that side of things. I think there's a few things that could have been better. Perhaps we'll see a version 2 at some point, I don't know. But either way, it's still a super awesome bag, and I think that you'll be really happy with it. I know the price is quite high compared to some bags, but you know, there's value in it here. This is going to be a bag that's with you for a very, very long time. Now, when Peak Design launched the Everyday Messenger on Kickstarter, one of the bonus items for Kickstarter backers was this little accessory bag called the Field Pouch. Now, they are made from the same waxed canvas material. They have a lot of the same detailing, the same kind of reinforced material on the bottom here, but this is designed as a little place to store your memory cards, batteries, and all the other little bits and pieces that float around camera bags. I've actually done a separate review of the Field Pouch because it's something that I think a lot of photographers might find useful even if they don't have the Everyday Messenger. Whilst they're designed the same and they were marketed at the same time, it's not to say that this is only for use with the Messenger. So in the description below this, if you're watching on YouTube, I'm going to put a link that takes you to the dedicated review of the Peak Design Field Pouch. But for those that aren't too worried about looking at the separate review, I just want to say that this is a really great little accessory. It costs $40. It's great for tidying up all of the little cables and small things that rattle around our bags. In terms of relating that to the Everyday Messenger bag, I do want to point one thing out though, because I noticed on the Kickstarter page, and I think on the Peak Design's website at some point, there was a slightly misleading photo on there. Now, they had... We've already talked about the fact that I think the size of this front pocket and the design of this front pocket isn't that great. They had a photo of the Field Pouch sitting inside this front pocket. Now, I don't have too much in here. I've got a memory card wallet, which I will take out, and some batteries. So this is now empty. And when it's empty, I can just about squeeze that in the front pocket there. Excuse me. But that is essentially with no bulky items already in the front pocket. I've got a notepad in there and some business cards, and that's it. If you put anything of any kind of bulk in the pockets that are inside the front pocket or in this bag at all, it just doesn't fit in the front there. So I thought that photo is kind of misleading. You can't stuff this with accessories, cables, chargers, batteries and all that, and then expect to put it in the front pocket like this. It just wouldn't fit at all. I mean, even just with these two things, memory cards and batteries, I couldn't get this in and zip this up. So it sort of underlines to me the failings in the front pocket on the Everyday Messenger bag. It just needs to be bigger. It needs to not be tapered at the bottom like this. So I personally don't use it in the front because what's the point in putting an empty bag in the front pocket? But it works great if you just stuff it into the main section of the bag. You know, you can use the dividers to find a good spot for it. You can put it in there, or you can fill everything up and it kind of rests on the top like this and gets held in there by the main strap system. So, I mean, there's lots of ways to use it, but I don't think the front pocket is the place for it. So I wouldn't want you guys to go out there and buy the two with your heart set on it being a little organizer that lives in the front pocket of the bag. So, like I said, there's a little bit more info on the Field Pouch, and you can see there's got 6 different pockets inside it. So check out the review of that. I'll put a link at the bottom and in the description as well. Alright guys, that was a really in-depth look at the Peak Design Everyday Messenger bag. I hope you guys found it useful. Now, it is quite an expensive purchase, so that's why I did it. I wanted to make sure you can have a really informed purchasing decision. Now, if you're watching on YouTube, head to the description below the video. You're going to find a link to our online review. There's a ton of photos there and some more chat about the bag. There's also a link to get a 10% discount on the bag. So that's a saving of $25 if this is all you're buying, but there's tons of other great stuff on their site as well. So check it out. Give the video a thumbs up if you like it. Subscribe to the channel. We're going to have plenty more stuff like this in the future. Thanks for watching.